Hello team. So recently I created some Claude skills for finding out vulnerability in my application. So generally in an enterprise environment, you create web apps and you need to find out all vulnerability inside it. So OWASP Top 10 is a project which is a repository of top 10 vulnerability. And what I did was I created some Claude skills based on this OWASP top 10 list. And the idea is it can go through my fast API application and find out all the vulnerability. So the advantage is, before moving things into production, I can find out if there are some challenges or vulnerabilities within an application and rectify it. So that was the purpose of this one. So let's see how did I build it, how can I use it, and so on. So the way I built those skills was I went through all these top 10 definitions. For example, if you see broken access control, it talks about least privileges and all. And similarly, injection is one of my favorites, which talks about, how you can exploit any endpoint by, sending it some specific SQL queries or parameters to the SQL queries and, try to compromise the system. So for example, if I see this main.py, I'm just giving one example. So in this main.py, which is quite vulnerable, if you see a login, what's happening is a user is sending something, and based on that, a SQL is fired, which checks for select all from users where username equals to username. So you are passing, username and password and you test it. Now, what is going to happen is if somebody, manipulates the parameters and they send something like username is equals to admin or 1 equals to 1, what is going to happen is even if they didn't provided the password as such, they are able to compromise the system. So the way the SQL read it is select all from users where username equals to admin or 1 equals to 1, thereby bypassing the password and giving them the access. So with that, the user is already in. So that is what is SQL injection is all about. So what I can do is based on this, whatever I have written, I can find out with my skills whether there is some challenges or not. So for example, just to give a clean example, I have this prompt and I'm going to just run this and let's see what happens. So what I'm trying to do is I'm telling Claude Code to see main.py, which I already told you. How does it look like? Then I'm telling it to invoke the skill, which is the broken access control skill, and then find out, any sort of vulnerability. Similarly, I can do it for injection skills. So I have all the skills, here. So I have broken access control, I have injection and so on. So for now, I'm talking about broken access control, which talks about things like courts and, things like, for example, having access to all the endpoints, no security in all the endpoints. So this is what it is going to tell me. So if I go here, it is going to tell me that you don't have list privileges, you don't have courts and so on. So that's what it is going to do. So let's wait for it to reply back. Yeah, so it told me, all the things which it find out. So it says, this is the finding missing authorization on all the endpoints, and I know I have no authorization in all the API endpoints. So that is what it is telling me. It is talking about broker authentication, session management, and so on. And this is what it is going to do. Now I can, run all the 10 skills together, or I can run one by one. So at the end, I will have a report of what exactly is going on and how can I rectify. So yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. And the way it works is you copy all the skills which I have given in your repository, preferably in skills folder, and then you can invoke it. So you will be able to find all the skills which are there, and it is going to tell me all the skills which are copied to the local Claude folder. So the way to do it is You instantiate one session, you copy skills within Claude folder, and then you will be able to know all the skills. You can either use all of them at once or do one by one. So that's it from my side today. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks. Bye.